Welcome to the Voice Podcast. I'm Sean, your host for Season 5. You've seen me in Season 4 as well. And today we have three amazing guests. Again, three amazing students of SLC. We have with us Kiana, right?
Hey.
Who is in the AMC program.
I am.
Yeah, first year.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have Sydney, social work, second year already, nailing it. Lululemon fan, absolutely. And we have a genius sitting next to me.
What?
Also. Yeah, Dan.
All right, hi guys.
Big media star in.
Not really.
Yeah, very, very talented human being.
Thank
And
you.
we're here today to talk about the essentials for your college life. Basically, what do you need as a student coming into college? It's your first year. 3 weeks in, you're starting, oh, I miss this, I miss that. It's not too late. We got you covered. And we will talk about essentials, basically about what you need to have as a student, and also in terms of mentally, how you need to prepare yourself, essentially. I think one point which I want is community-wise, how you approach the new community coming in, essentials to network with people. And yeah, so let's just dive into it. How was the week today, college?
The week went good. Yeah, it was busy. I had a fair bit of schoolwork to do, but you know, it was nice. I hung out with lots of people.
How about you, Sine? What's your highlight?
Going into my second year, I wasn't expecting it to be much different. For example, the first 2 weeks, we really didn't have much to do in class. They really take care of the first years. Definitely had a few tests, definitely had a few assignments, but it's busy, but it's good.
How about you, Dan? What's your highlight this week?
Third week into college, first year. Definitely we have a lot of stuff going on now and fun. Yeah, well, what can I say? It's like a new experience for me and for everyone. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the stuff that we will be diving into.
So just for we have an event coming up. It's called Velocity. It will be organized at the Innovation Hub. It's on the 12th of October, and I will put the link in the description below. It's a bit of a poster. We'll be here, kinda. You can see it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so let's jump right into the subject. Like, Kiana, you arrived at SLC just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks, which is crazy to think.
3
Like,
weeks.
that's wild. Yeah.
And what's the difference that you notice coming out of high school and the transition coming to college?
Yeah,
What were you not expecting to happen?
I would say, one of the things I was most nervous about coming here is not necessarily the school aspect, but also like the friends. Yeah. Because in high school, you get so comfortable and you meet people and you kind of forget what it's like to go straight into it and not know anybody. And the high school I went to, I didn't know anybody going into it. So coming to college, that was something I was really nervous about. But then when I came here, I learned that everybody is just as nervous as you. Everybody's wants to make friends. So it's easy to just go up to people and say, hey, you want to hang out? You want to do this? You want to do that? So that was definitely surprising to me. It was like, okay, we're all on the same page, you know? Yeah.
I feel like my first year, I was very nervous. I had a pretty tight group of friends at my high school. So going into this, it was very nerve-wracking. But honestly, everybody's in the same boat. You're fine. You're going to make friends. Get out there. Talk to people. Knock on their door, and you'll make friends.
That's what I did. I went around with a friend, and we literally knocked on everybody's door and was like, hey, want to be friends? Yeah.
I also feel like I definitely prepped Kiana. I gave her a lot of advice.
I think you're a great coach, Sydney. So what were the tips?
Thank you.
How did you sell to her, to come to us? That was one thing you said off camera. Yeah.
It was a struggle, I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of convincing. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to Toronto. I want to be an actor. And I was like, girly, okay, but let's think about it. I was like, come to St. Lawrence, give it a whirl. I'm here. I'm pretty cool. So I got her here. She went for open house. Her mom came down. I love her mom. And I showed them around. She loved the school, the environment, just pretty much everything about it. She just wasn't sure because she bounced back. Do I want to take a year off? Do I just want to chill and work at home? And I was like, Kiana, you're young. You need to come. You need to party. You need to have a good time. You're going to love it. that was a lot of the convincing. Just you're gonna love the environment, and if you stay home, I think you're gonna have FOMO.
Okay. Yeah. I just have a question.
Yeah.
Quick one, right, for Sydney. But I mean, you're here. It's your second year.
Yeah.
Correct. Right. But for you, what made you choose SLC? to begin
Okay,
with?
so I'm from Peterborough. I live 30 minutes out of Peterborough, more in the country, but it's a smaller town, I would say, compared to Kingston. I just don't like Peterborough. I don't like the vibe.
So we're very opposite that way.
We debate it. But basically, I applied to Algonquin College, Durham College, and St. Lawrence. I got into all of them. St. Lawrence was my number one just because Kingston is a great city. I love the environment.
Yeah.
It's just the community is amazing. And it's honestly not a bad drive from home. And the program it's a really good program. I'm in social work, so that was a big
Love it.
convincing topic.
And for Kiana, what's the deciding factor
For coming
you?
here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's me, but
No, Sydney definitely plays a big part in it. It's awesome to have her here and to be with her again. But I would say, I mean, I also applied to multiple schools and got into actually all of them, which was good.
Good for you.
But the thing was, it was, for me, the deciding factor was, do I go into performing arts or do I go into marketing and advertising, which I love, and I love them both. And for the program here, like the AMC program is just so, when I looked at it and I read through everything they cover, it's such an amazing program. And compared to all the other like AMC programs at different schools, it's just not the same. And I came here for the open house and talked to Kathy, and she just really sold it. She made it just seem so amazing. So honestly, like the program itself was just such, I needed to be here. Yeah.
It's also the people, I guess. Kathy is very
Yes, the people,
very
100%.
welcoming. She really opens her arms to you and make you feel like, hey, you're coming here. You're on the right hand. So
Yeah.
same selling like with me and Laura, who was a program coordinator with in the digital marketing program. Now it's Jessica. So congratulations to Jessica. And yeah. So how about you, Dan? What made you choose SLC?
Oh, what made me choose SLC? One, SLC, to be fair, I love it. They're very responsive. One is being very responsive. Number two is the quality of the programs, the faculty, and the campus, and then the city itself. Coming to Kingston, I'm like, when I arrived here, I was like, I feel like I belong here. It embraced me, and and I'm loving it.
Now to get to the essentials,
Awesome.
basically, what was your go-to, your must-have before coming to college,
Before coming to college?
yeah. So you're preparing and say, I must have this when I settle into my race room. This is what I should have.
Yeah.
'Cause you did an awesome setup.
Yeah, thank you. I think specifically for my dorm room, I mean, I did so much research on what to bring, but besides the stuff you need to survive, I found what really helped me was things to remind me of home. It was super important that I made my dorm room feel like myself and feel like my room. Otherwise, I knew I wouldn't be happy there. So I brought lots of things from my room, but also pictures that I printed out and notes or different things that I could bring with me that made it feel like home. And that was big. A lot of preparing that and going to Staples and printing out so many photos. That took so long.
I think for me it was plants. I love plants. I love flowers. So I was fill the dorm room with plants. This year actually, a big thing that I did bring was my pet bird.
Love it.
His name is Sky. He's a budgie. And he actually talks, and budgies are not supposed to talk, so I'm hyping him up a bit. So yeah, finding a place, because I live off campus this year, finding a place that I could have pets was a big thing because I wanted my bird.
Found the place?
Cute.
I did. I live in a basement apartment. It's around 10 minutes away from the campus, so it's great.
Love it.
How about you guys?
I don't have a pet, so let's start from that. So, and some essentials for me were, now asking me, it's hard.
It's tricky, huh?
To have, I would say having an organized schedule.
Yes.
Definitely. For me, I learned from my mistake of the first semester in digital marketing.
Oh, okay.
And I tried making a calendar And it didn't work. So now, before starting a project management program, which I'm in right now, I decided, hey, it's time to look at that schedule, block some time during a Sunday. I said, go to a coffee shop and make that calendar,
Cool.
schedule like the classes, assignment times. So I go through the basis of, I developed this thing, I take credits for it, basis of prioritization.
Okay.
So basically you will orient your time during the week around 3 things that you want to do. Obligations, courses, which I don't like.
Don't we all?
No, I'm just kidding. And also, second thing is my job. And third thing is working out. So those are the 3 things which I orient. So I said, let's make the time for those.
Cool.
And then you create your calendar based on, you put your schedule of your classes. Then you look like for the time for work. Now that you have both those ready, now let's find time for working out. And I block those in my calendar. So from 9 to 11 a.m., it's like my workout time. And then like from that, I say, oh, I have now so much free time. What do I do with it?
Cool.
Do I sleep more? Do I cook food?
Go partying.
Do I mix
Definitely.
music? So
It's all about the balance, right? Like
Yeah.
figuring out the time for everything, including like that self-care. And
there's no
that.
balance. There's only care.
True.
only
But
care.
What is
attempting a
What
balance.
is balance?
And yeah, so for me, like essentials, like if you haven't made it, like let's go to a coffee shop together and I'll help you make it. It's fine. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah,
Love
very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Dan?
Yeah, for me, 3 things.
Okay.
I realized that basic stuff that I need to have going here.
Yeah.
Water bottle. It's
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a must.
must, because it's very dehydrating nowadays. because
Yes.
of the weather and all the stuff that we're running around and stuff. Second thing would be snacks.
Oh,
Long
yes.
hours.
A big snacker.
Yeah.
Snack girly over
If
here.
it's allowed, right? We can always like grab a snack or 2. Yep.
love
Along the way and
self-culture.
in between classes or during class if it's allowed. And then the third thing, I think this is the most important thing for me. Mindset check.
Yes.
Whenever I wake up and before I do things, I would ask myself, what am I doing? Am I doing things that are like aligned to what I want to achieve or my end goals and stuff? So those 3 basic things for me. Because holler to all the mature students here, I think right over the years we've realized so many things, and the basics will always be the basics for us. And yeah.
Yeah.
Like back to water bottles, I would just like to say I am a big Brita water bottle girl.
She's
when
sold me on this.
when I moved into res, I like come from the country, so I have always drank well water. So I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like bottled water. Ugh, no thank you. So I was like, can't fit a Brita in my fridge because that's like not efficient. Told you that, but you still chose to do it.
Got it, Britta.
So Brita water bottle, I think everybody needs to invest in one.
Shout out to Brita.
Sponsor. They're like $21. You can get them at the grocery store. I'm just telling you, key, essential. Brita water bottle, key in life.
Just
There you
just
go.
to say this, right? I think Sydney will do a very good testimonial girl.
Yeah,
She's
I think
like
so
an
too.
advocate of everything.
Honestly.
She's like,
She's into
I
it.
love
go
it.
girl.
There you go.
Thank you.
Like
Yeah.
you are strong about your identity.
Oh, tell me about it.
There's one thing Sydney does. She's very, adamant about what she loves, and I love that about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to what you were saying about
Sure.
like the mindset and like self-care. That's a big thing. Like honestly, just having you time and time to de-stress and think about where you're at is huge, because I find it's so easy to get caught up in the work, and especially for people that haven't been, I know for me, like getting away from home and not having all my people.
You're a
Luckily-
big home girly.
I'm a huge home girly, and luckily I have like Sydney here, which is really nice and that's comforting. But sometimes that can be it gets you down, right? So checking in with yourself and having like that self-care time is really good. Like, do you guys have any strategic things that you do to check in on yourself?
For me, I would say just any kind of physical activity, going on a walk, going on a run, going to the gym.
Agreed.
I grew up doing competitive dance, so dancing, yoga, anything physical just brings me back down, I feel.
Exactly.
Yeah, very cool.
I think for me, right, a simple my few cents, just always have a list of your pick me uppers.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you can always go and do those little things. Like for me, for example, if it's a matter of like just eating a Kit Kat, shout out to Kit Kat, my favorite brand.
Sponsor.
Or going on long walks,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
or
no.
just staring at blank. You know,
Yeah.
people watching without minding their
I
business.
love
right?
a good people watching sesh.
You
Oh my
do.
gosh.
Yep. Or eating, or right, reading, or watching something. I mean,
Yeah.
something that you do for yourself
Yeah.
during your own me time thing. Yeah, it
Totally.
helps. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely, like getting busy is my way.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel that.
Working out is like really also like not just working out lightly, intense, going
Yes.
intense. and
Wow.
Okay.
Be it hit, being like strength training. I love it when something pushes me so much that I'm into the moment.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
So
Yeah.
like if I'm
Nice.
doing hypertrophy training, cool. I know like it's a way of concentrating also, like a lot of repetition. But now like since I went through my phase of like having bad eating habits,
Yeah.
and now I'm ready. Like since the start of the year, academic year, I've lost like 6 kgs,
Okay.
and I'm
Wow.
still going down.
Way to go.
Yeah,
So,
seriously.
It's fine. I was should have seen my LA body.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so working out. Second is like I really like also music, so really spending
Ah.
time with music and
Yep,
really
yep.
feeling it. As a dancer, I think like you really Sydney, like feel that energy that music
Yeah.
is giving you when you're dancing in the
Yeah.
The emotions,
I do
it
that
all
a lot.
comes.
yeah. So I really love mixing music and dancing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I will play some classic gigs of Hardwell 2013
Oh,
Ultra
nice.
Music
Okay, yeah.
Festival in Miami. Great set. I dance to it every time.
Love it.
And third thing, I would say cooking food.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Meal prepping.
Yes.
Not even meal prepping. I cook every day.
There you
I'm a
go.
big
Every day.
meal prep
No
girly.
prepping, no prepping.
No
I don't
prepping.
like I don't have enough space in my fridge, so I have housemate, and we just have
Ah.
one fridge. So I have those 2 spaces.
Okay.
So putting those meal prep boxes, I cannot put them, so I will have to take everywhere.
Yes.
Right.
So
yeah.
I found a way to manage to.
Looking
meal
forward to
prep.
trying some of Sean's dishes.
I know, I'm ready for that.
I make a better chicken shawarma than all shawarma places.
Wow.
Ooh.
I make my homemade burger.
Ooh.
I do have my
Burger.
special recipes for
Kiana's vegetarian, so
I am. Like, that's okay.
That's okay.
I love a good
we'll
veggie burger.
appreciate the look of it.
Veggie burger. So what's my veggie dish? I love making sweet and sour tofu.
Oh, yes.
Right. Mhm.
And also like I make a good broccoli sides also.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yum.
that's
Love
cool,
it.
like with sesame oil.
I love broccoli
Oh.
Like yeah.
and cauliflower.
Cauliflower I don't know.
Okay.
But I,
I,
I'm just saying.
I like cauliflower.
That's me. That's me.
That's okay.
it's just like I as a kid I never liked the taste of cauliflower.
Fair. Okay. Yeah.
I love cauliflower
Yeah.
rice, by the way.
Yeah.
Going back to college essentials, academic college essentials, like things that you're using for class, using for studying, that type of stuff. Do we have anything that's helped you in the past, or that you're currently using that helped you get through all your classes and courses, like coursework?
Yeah, I have like it's very old school, but I have a very small notebook, always a
Hey.
notepad in my pocket, just like a police detective. I'm just writing
Ooh,
things.
sneaky.
Every time. Yeah, it's like if you have ADHD, it helps a
Yeah.
lot when you need to
Yes.
journal at the end of the day. So that's what I do. I note everything, and then at night, so to reduce screen time, I go back through the little notepad and then I write.
Oh, love that.
So
Yeah.
that definitely helps for me, like getting my brain out of that technological, always having a screen in front of me. So
Yeah.
I don't like that. And yeah,
That's
so that
fair.
helps academically to turn down. And I have classmate who uses actually like project management software.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
Wow.
Bougie.
forgot what they use.
Organized.
Like
Very
Asana
organized.
or something.
As,
like
oh,
that.
Asana. Okay.
Yeah.
Monday.com.
I know.
Asana. Okay, cool.
Like,
I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah,
Teamwork?
So because we manage like their life, their business, and
Oh,
everything
okay.
Oh,
all
I get it.
together.
Yep. Makes
We love
sense.
So
that.
they have like 5-6 things to do in their life.
Yes.
Okay.
So they go super extreme into
Okay.
like, oh, I need. So they note all their homeworks from their assignments and then put some alerts like every day. You have 3 days remaining for that. I cannot live like that.
So
Wow.
I love a Google Calendar. My Google Calendar is full. I put every assignment, every due date. I have a spreadsheet with all my assignments and the due dates and how much they're worth. It's pretty organized, I would like to say. Everything's color coded. Yeah, that's my essential, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Be jealous.
No, because mine's aesthetic colors.
Pulling out the receipts. Oh
If
my
I had my phone, you would see it.
Yeah.
Defined packed
I love it.
schedule.
You
Oh
can
my
find the
gosh.
duplicate here. So I
Packed
canceled the
schedule.
golf tournament.
Right.
I didn't go to the golf tournament.
Oh.
This is your week's schedule or your like month schedule?
That's a
like,
month.
all the
or it's
blue-
your daily
So
schedule.
all the light
So
blues,
much.
you can see I have to meet Kiana on a Tuesday here.
Oh, okay,
There we
cool,
go.
And I
cool.
have to meet Dan for video production. Dan.
Yes.
I like how my name's not on this calendar. It's fine.
Like, you have a surprise package. Sitting
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, there you go.
I
I
hope.
love surprises on the podcast.
I'm a great surprise. Hire me. Put me on. I can pop out of a box for y'all.
Oh gosh. Okay, and
Yeah.
Dan.
Yes, for me, right? I started again to have the e-post-its on my
Ooh.
computer.
I like
to
those.
Remind me of the stuff that that I need to do, my to-do list, and then I just cross them out or delete
Yeah.
them after or once I'm done with them. So
Yeah.
it helps me.
Yeah,
those
totally.
little things.
I feel like another big thing, academic, and this is just like college in general, a good pair of headphones.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
that.
yes.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah.
Because-
I shout like this.
It's loud everywhere. Like, you can only study. Oh, some, like, quiet over there.
One thing I would say for me, academically, is getting to know your profs and like becoming like acquaintances
Another
with them.
good
You know,
point. Good
because I find with mine like it's good. You want to get known. You want them to know you because also like networking is a thing, especially in like the programs that we're in. Like you want to know your profs and you want to get to know them so then they can also help you too. I find that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
That's like
Good
an
point.
essential. Get to know not only your profs but also like people in your class. You know, you never know who you're gonna meet, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like if you're not in a business course,
Yeah.
I'm not. So a big thing is a lot of our profs are contracted in and they work for communities living or like they work in the field. So one day you can walk into an interview and that's who's interviewing you. So try to make connections with everybody because you never know who's going to interview you.
And I won't say why you should know your classmates. That's a very, very big. Because you do
Yeah.
a lot of group works.
Oh, so much.
True.
Yes.
With group
True.
works, that means you have to work with other students.
Yep.
You might be a high performer, others are not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are very accommodating, some are very stubborn. So then you will realize, like, oh, well, I wish I knew you were like that. No. So
Yes.
That's why you should be curious about each and every one in your class. Be a very good observer.
Yeah.
I would recommend you to be observe a lot, listen to how people are speaking, what they're
Yeah.
saying, and you will start forming a persona around them, even if they are not speaking much. Like, and then
Yeah.
you can know like with who you vibe. Like, are your friends really like the one who will make you work, or will you be much more distracted? So
Exactly. Yeah. Are they good in the classroom, or is that more of an outside, like later
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, totally.
and that's a tough call to make.
So dorm room essentials.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's make dorm rooms, and I live off campus. I can.
Yes.
I live off campus too,
Off campus as well.
So, yeah.
but I did live in the dorm.
Yes.
so.
And I
Briefly.
currently live on campus. So, yeah. I mean, we've kind of touched on a few things like plants, things to remind you of home,
Pictures.
what else?
you see.
Pictures.
Storage is a
Yeah.
big thing.
Storage.
Lightings.
Oh, let's talk about storage for a
Yes,
second because
please.
that's
Yes,
like
please.
huge. I think not only in a dorm but also in just a small apartment
Yeah,
space.
I
You
feel
need
it.
so much storage. So what have you guys found like is useful to you?
Well, when I was in my dorm, raising your bed. It's a big help.
Mine's all the way up. It's as high as it can go.
Because then you can get those bins from not Costco, Walmart, the ones that are like free tier. You can stick them
Walmart,
under.
shout out.
Sponsor! And you can put those under your bed. and you have so much room. That's where I used to hide my alcohol under there. So big thing, hide the booze. Yeah, I don't know. Another big thing is using every nook and cranny and finding a good way to make stuff fit and store it well.
Yeah. You want to make everything storage. You want to find spots for everything because you're going to collect so much stuff. And even just like, it's not a big space and you need to fit it all. Like all my clothes, like they're everywhere, you know, stored everywhere.
It's a struggle. I do have a big closet this year, thank God.
Yeah.
I didn't have much. I didn't come with a lot because I knew I was just going to be there for like 4 months.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's
for me, I
fair.
just had clothes and but I had to buy. Then I learned I had to buy like cooking stuff because like the food at the cafe is super expensive. And
You weren't on the meal plan?
No,
you weren't.
I came during summer. I was
Okay.
summer.
Oh, okay.
gotcha.
Gotcha.
And I think the 3 essentials to have as a student if you really want to cook is a microwave, air fryer,
Yes.
and
Stovetop. Stovetop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stovetop. Yeah, those are the 3. You don't need more than that. Not a toaster. You don't need it.
No. But you need a coffee maker because let me get
Very
started.
important. Yep.
Caffeine.
Why do we have a Tim Hortons? I am sorry, but it's not it. I'm a Starbucks girly. Tim Hortons doesn't have iced coffee here. Why? Don't know. Also,
It's a mystery.
they do not offer different kinds of milk. They only offer cow milk. And I'm sorry. Yes, they have the odd oat beverage, but they won't put it in any other drinks. And I'm sorry, but as a girl who is allergic to milk, that is not kind, and I'm not a fan. Just saying.
I feel you.
So get a Keurig. That's my suggestion, because you're not gonna have time to wait in the line.
Going back to the dorm situation thing,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
want to know because I'm living off campus.
Yes.
right? I want to know what are the what ifs or what would have made your experience better, happier. What's an ideal dorm situation for you guys?
So I had a single dorm. I didn't want to do the whole roommate thing. Just it wasn't happening. My dorm had a lot of broken stuff. I actually didn't have the rod for my closet. So I had half a closet and no rod. I had to DIY something. It was fine. They never fixed it. Whatever. Once a week, my power would just fuse out. So that was a big L.
Yikes.
I would just say having a dorm that is not broken and has no suspicious stains on the carpet. I don't know what they were, but they were there.
They were there. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually lucked out. I got
Good.
quite a good dorm.
I'm
There was
jealous.
barely anything wrong with it. The walls are a little banged up in spots, but for the most part, it's like pretty good. I love it. It was a good space to work with.
Yeah.
There is some stains, I will say, and there's weird yellow stains at the entrance. It's very odd, but
Suspicious.
yeah, it is a little suspicious. But
knows?
Yeah, I lucked out as far as that goes. I don't really know. The dorm situation went pretty good for me. Yeah.
You lucky
So
duck.
I would say like manage the sink situation.
Oh.
Because you just have one. Like either
Yeah.
it's the decisive choice. Like either you want it in the bathroom or do you want it in the kitchen?
So I had mine in the kitchen, and I liked it just because I did my dishes there, and it does make more sense to brush and wash your face there than take your dishes to the
Into the
washroom.
Where
I
the
totally
toilet
agree.
is.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't seem the most sanitary to me. It's like, yeah.
For me, like the
Yeah.
hygiene, like even I love cleaning fridge. That's one of my little things. Like I love,
Yeah.
like I love like here's my
It's
food.
so nice
Yeah.
after you clean
Oh,
your
it's
place.
satisfying.
It's just like, oh, my life is back.
I don't know, like there's something about refreshing, seeing everything, like even my in my kitchen I have like all my spices boxed into their own.
He's a very organized person.
I love that.
Yep.
I put labels of them.
Love a label.
This is the spices section, the herb section,
Amazing.
the aromatic section. So yeah, I love cooking. So
I actually have a question for you, Sean.
yeah,
You've had a lot of roommates in the past, or has it been
a lot of roommates. So yeah,
Okay.
I would say in different countries and different
cool? Yeah,
places.
yeah.
You're a traveled
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
Would you say for anybody who has a roommate, like, do you have any essentials for them or things that they can take from your experiences with roommates, like things that helped you kind of deal with it and live
Yeah.
beside these people?
Is it's all
Good
comes
point.
down to the communication.
Yeah,
Really,
okay.
like you should communicate it. Like even with a dishes example, you have to say it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Be stubborn about it.
Yeah.
Be respectful, be polite, because we're all human beings. And
Yeah.
at some point, like you need to have a serious discussion and
Yeah.
talk about
Ah.
it straight, how they are. It's better if your housemate or friends, I believe, for my
Okay.
situation. It's easier to talk it out. With strangers, you never know how
Yeah.
they react. And some people are really like passive aggressive and will turn the thing on you and
Yep.
stuff. To live with housemate is to really have some ground rules
Yeah.
at the very beginning. There's no magic
Yep.
way how
Good
to
point.
deal with it.
Yep.
Is really boundary setting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what? And it's very difficult to say. It's very easy to say set boundaries like that. But how do you know? You don't know each other. So and treat each other. If you don't know each other, give them that comfort of like allowing them to make that mistake in
Okay.
the first
Yeah.
place.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you don't know
point.
that person, so and they don't know you either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bound to happen that you're going to clash or like have a disagreement at some
Yeah.
point because you have different lifestyles.
right.
And
yeah.
how you deal with that is allow the first mistake. 3 strikes, you're out, basically.
Yeah, there
then
you
we are
go.
going to get at some point because you talk about it. And I would say befriend
Yeah.
your housemate because you're
Yep.
going to be
Yep.
together
Yep.
for a long time. You
Yeah.
don't know how much. And big mistake of mine. I prefer my housemates to be friends. That's the reason because I find it difficult to befriend housemates.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
fair.
when I come home, I love to just chill, like
Yeah.
have my own space. I don't have
Right.
enough
Yep,
energy
yep.
to give.
Recharge the social battery.
Kinda, like already know that person, you feel comfortable, and you
Yeah.
can just be there. Like you
Yeah.
don't need to constantly be like entertaining them.
Actually, I was talking to a girl in my class yesterday, and she just moved in with this girl, never met her before, and she was explaining how they are just finally starting to become not just roommates, but friends. Like
Yeah.
they're in the between, like
Yeah.
starting to become friends, and she said it's been hard when they're not. So just give it time, she said. Because honestly, it's been 3 weeks and they're already starting to like go out together, like invite each other to parties. So I think it will happen.
Yeah.
One thing also, like I want to, like not every housemate will become your friend. Also,
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Sometimes don't try to force the relationship kind of way into becoming too overly friendly. Kinda,
Yeah.
some people kind of stick to themselves. So yeah.
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 Personalities clash. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah, it's all about the relationships you make, right? And
Yeah.
it's not all gonna go, and that's okay. Yeah. One thing also, kind of branching off on knowing people, I really think getting involved within your community is super important and so crucial. Was there anything like when you first got here, Sean, like that you got involved with, or like how did it take you a while to kind of get into like the community? Like was it school and then community, or was it like
It's definitely for me is setting into a new country basically.
Yeah, that's
right?
hard.
Yep, yep,
Already getting the essentials
Mm-hmm.
of getting a phone number, getting a SIN number,
Yep.
getting your bank account ready. So you do everything again from the scratch. So those 3 things were my main essential. And then if you're like me, don't make the same mistake. Bring your driving license with an English translation. Also, so you
Yep.
need to bring that. And yeah, so those are the essentials which I needed to get. And coming to college, the first thing was to get to know your classmates and
Yeah.
your profs and the faculty members and the surroundings. It's such a big campus. Like when I first arrived, I was lost, like every student, getting that. And then I approached my program coordinator. Hey, I want to do more. What
Yeah.
do you have for me? Then we set up a meeting. We had a chat for an hour. Like I say, this is what you can do. So then I did that, and I did also like try to research a bit on Facebook or Reddit, or if there's anything happening in the city, like some volunteering events.
Yeah,
Could
cool.
do. Sometimes there are like a few food festival around the city, so it's great. There's also great now. There's a networking buddies done by a friend called Gail. She has a good
Yep.
group.
Shout out to Gail.
Yeah, that's how I got connected with
yep.
Dan.
Love it.
And there are Keys. Keys also is
Yep.
they do networking events, so you could go there and start talking with people. I met fantastic people at Queens
Yeah.
with that, and yeah, so pretty much for me was just settling in because I'm new to
Yeah.
the digital to marketing overall, being a hospitality expert in my
Yeah.
previous career. And for me was like to really get intense. I was more academic focused. Even
Fair,
if
yeah.
I had some free time, I volunteered here and there, but nothing to a long-term purpose, for just one-time things.
Yeah.
So in the second semester, then I got involved with a podcast and did more photo shooting for my country to promote SLC in Mauritius Islands.
Oh,
so
fun.
did that
Cool.
as well. So yeah, like now we have more students from my country coming. We are like
That's
9
great.
people actually. So
You guys should make a club.
I'm creating a club next Tuesday. So new
there you
club
go.
coming in.
Yeah.
Yay!
Student Lifestyle Coaching Club,
Oh,
There you go.
fun.
Okay.
giving
Interesting.
one-on-one coaching to students.
Yeah.
So that's one
That's
thing which
awesome.
you can join. And yeah,
Do you have any advice, like number one thing, if you're an international student?
that's a heavy question, is to prepare yourself like mentally, like for me it was fine, having traveled a lot, like one key strength of me is adapting. And understanding where you're going is completely different from home.
Yeah.
And that you will need to adapt to those changes in some way. So the quicker you put into your mind, like, how do I adapt to the situation, being adaptable, you will sort yourself out. It's a lot of mental thing to work on.
Yeah.
A lot of
point.
you to research, and research. I cannot emphasize. Even me, I did not do enough research. When
Right. It's like never
Yeah.
enough
Like-
research.
it's never enough, but researching at the right places also.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
there are
yeah.
some great YouTubers about coming to Canada, and because sometimes the agents don't say the 100% of what you should know coming in here, or they forget. So you need to look for other resources before coming. And when you're in Canada, I would say, let's say you're already here. What you should do is really set your priorities right, because I think if you're an international student, even local student, depending of where you're coming from, you're away from home. Like you
Yeah.
also you moved away from your place. Is keep in touch of who you are, who you have back home also, because they are part of your life. Like for me, like my mom is very precious. Love you. And
Shout out.
Shout out to your
best
mom.
event-
Hi!
Hi to Sean's mom.
We love you.
We love you, mommy.
Thank you. She will love it. Yeah, big fan of a podcast. And yeah, I make it a must to talk with her. And
Yeah.
like, also my friends, one big things I'm a very like, sometimes I distance myself with
Okay.
like, and before the podcast, I had a video call with my friend and it refreshed me up.
Yeah.
I was so down this morning and we just chat about like our first college, and I was like, oh, my life's so different now. And so he said, Sean, that's not you. Who are you?
Yes.
Who's that? That's not you.
New
man."
Sean.
Yeah.
Sean 2.0.
It's not.
New era.
like
It's
10
another
point.
person.
Yeah,
It's completely different person.
Okay.
But coming back to your point, like international students coming in, is set your priorities right. If you need to find a job, make it a must. Like, don't wait on people. Sometimes I have some classmates waiting. Oh, people should give me a job. Like,
No.
who are you? Like, no.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, make your time is, like, set your priorities right. That's it. Have a time, sit down, say what I need to do. 3 things, 3 priorities. That's it.
The school has so many resources too. Like if you want to talk to somebody, they have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
Yeah, just self-care in so many ways. Like
Reach
talking
out.
to people, that's a big essential,
Yeah.
Reach out,
Yeah.
talk to your friends, your family.
you're not alone.
You're not alone, 100%.
There's everybody here. And then going back to clubs, because you're going to be making one eventually.
Yeah.
Joining clubs, big thing. Actually, the day we're filming,
Great host.
it's actually clubs day, right? Like the club, they're doing the clubs around here.
Is that today?
Tuesday, I think
Clubs is
Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday? Okay.
2 p.m. It will be already uploaded, but anyway.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
clubs, big thing. I looked last year, didn't join any, but
Yeah,
They're a
that's
big
yeah,
thing.
huge.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. Is there
I
any
joined
other
one club last year.
Okay.
And
how'd you like it?
a French club, of course. as a
Oui, oui.
French speaker.
French,
Oui,
oui.
je parle
Oui,
français
oui.
couramment.
Bonjour.
Et-
Oh.
Je parle
He
français.
studied in France, right?
Non, j'ai fait un stage en France.
Duh, that's Russian.
No, c'est the French club. Like I had this idea, then someone else took the initiative because I don't have time. I never have time. So someone else took it,
Okay.
create that club, and I say, oh, let me join. Surprisingly enough, I was one of the 2-3 people who only knows how to speak French. I was
Oh.
like, so how were you
Good,
doing
good,
the French
okay.
club? Like, you know?
Yeah,
And
it's
we were
Yeah.
like, we would.
The Google Translate.
Then I said, well, I won't be a passive member, so let me be more active. And it felt good, giving back to
Yes.
your knowledge that you have. And again, for me, just speaking French again, like to have this back.
totally.
Speaking of which, because I met a few people asking if we have like French classes here, like those people who can teach French. Are you open to
Classes?
that? Probably. I mean, because I
I
think
don't
the
know.
SA they offer some basic Spanish.
Have you seen his Google Calendar?
Yeah.
Probably
He's
after
very
SLC, I
packed.
will have some much more.
Probably
free
that's
time.
one thing you can
Yeah.
look into.
Yep.
Yep.
Too. I need to
KIV.
revise my French grammar.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
It's super complicated. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
lovely to learn. I love languages, so
Yep.
How many languages do you speak?
free.
Okay.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
English, French, and Mauritian Creole.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you go. And you Spanish, you were thinking about?
I want to learn
Yeah.
Spanish, Portuguese, and hopefully Japanese or German.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
I want
Yeah.
like at least 6 languages.
You could just travel around
We
the
have a
world.
future polyglot here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so just
Cool.
because I want to
Yes.
travel the whole world. That's my dream.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
You'll get there eventually. Totally.
After we get rid of that debt.
Is there any other essentials that we think we haven't covered?
Self-care, right?
Self-care, we've kind of go over it a little bit. Like we said, make
Self-care.
time for yourself, get involved.
Yeah.
I would say
Have a routine for me, like
A routine, yeah.
Self-care comes
good.
from having a routine.
Yeah.
Because so many of us wants to brag, oh, I live an adventurous life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know it sounds sexy.
Yeah.
It's cool when you say it, but you need to have a routine. For me,
100%.
I think a routine is not here to make your life boring.
Yeah.
A routine is here to make your life much easier, so you can have much more free time to do your
Exactly.
adventurous
Totally
life.
stay organized.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
know where you have to be.
Good
It's
point.
fun to be spontaneous, but also you need a structure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for people who struggle with that, because not everybody loves structure, just trying your best to have some kind of structure is gonna help you. And honestly, get a friend to keep you on track. Have a
Good
friend
point.
be like, hey, it's time to go do
Exactly.
laundry today. Hey, let's take the recycling out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, have a friend that's gonna keep you in track,
Have
and you're
a
gonna
friend.
keep them in track.
Yep.
Have
Yeah.
a friend, but also be that friend.
Yeah, do both.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Don't
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
yes
yeah.
friend,
And-
keep
Yeah.
your friends accountable. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think one thing that helps me a lot is when I listen to my inner self. Like if I mean, for those people out there, if you're not that outgoing or not that adventurous, or you have a different kind of vibe, listen to your inner self. Your body feel what you're going through. I mean, it knows when it's like about to burst or whatsoever. You would know your limitations and stuff. It's always nice to be aware of what's happening within you, because at least you know what to do next. Or if you don't know, at least you can reach out to someone, or if
Yeah.
not, you can always phone someone, or just at least you know what's happening and you're aware, and it's a good start for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And
Awesome.
just making time for yourself. Like,
Yes,
That's the biggest thing, honestly.
you need to recharge. You can be a people person. You cannot be. Everybody needs that recharging period.
100%.
You
like,
can't
Totally.
go
matter
24/7.
Yeah.
Just being a social little butterfly.
That's exactly it. I find I'm very extroverted. I love people, but
Yeah.
the reason I have a single dorm is so I can go back
Yeah.
and like be like, okay, I can
Yes.
chill.
We
It's
all need
okay.
to decompress,
Yes.
to recharge,
It's
and
okay
to
not
have
to
our
be
own
talking.
time.
Yes.
Me
Yeah.
time. Yep.
Do whatever
Exactly.
makes you happy and
Yeah.
spend 2 or 3 hours doing that, and
Yeah.
you will be okay.
Exactly.
Yep.
You've got this.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to touch also one last thing
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, sure.
Totally.
There's a lot of social media content nowadays
Yes.
going on, which will probably shape your mind or like the way you think.
Yep.
And also, like a lot of it is, I think, a lot of self-improvement.
Yeah.
So don't confuse too much self-care with self-improvement. So self-improvement is
Yeah.
always that, oh, I can be better. But again,
Right.
it comes to recharging,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, you can improve every day, But sometimes you need to take a pause also. Like sometimes you need to go out and have fun. Like
Yeah.
just
Yes.
go have a great dinner night or a like sorry, like just a chill night. Go out, have a drink, or like go to the gym, like
Yeah,
or
step away.
things like that. Go to the park,
Yeah.
anything. It's definitely something. So don't always try. I see a lot of students are like, oh yeah, I need to do that, I need to do
Yeah.
that. Oh, I'm 90 at this, I need to
Yeah.
get 95.
It's like
Come on, chill
constant.
out, bro.
Yeah.
Like that grade isn't going to change that much. The amount of stress you're taking
Yeah.
from you trying to just get that minimal percentage, or like, oh, I'm always like, I need to improve in my work. Like, chill out and give yourself time to grow. So yeah, that's it.
It's not worth damaging your mental health.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because at the end of the day, that's the most
Yeah,
important
yeah, yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I think right to have to summarize, not to summarize, but a good way to end this very lovely conversations that we're having is, I just want to ask, expectations versus reality. I mean, because we're talking about like first day, first week high, survival and all.
Yeah.
To end this and to leave some stuff for our viewers and listeners, what were your expectations, and then how is it in reality, right? Because you got so scared going into or stepping into the campus because, oh, this might happen, I might do this, I might look
Yeah.
stupid, and then in reality, what really happened? So I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Totally. I mean, for me, I was very scared. I was coming into all of this. It's scary. You don't know exactly what to expect. It's a whole new chapter. And it's like everything you've ever known is, I mean, I didn't even go that far. I'm like 2 hours away, but it's still totally new people, totally new environment, and you're on your own. And it's the first time. So that was so scary for me. And I was just so worried about all the different aspects, living alone, having to manage myself, even just when to eat. Like,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
for the first like week, I did not eat properly because I was so nervous, but
We're working on it.
we're working on it. It's still, but just like all those little things like that I knew I'd have to deal with, like kind of just freaked me out. Like the anxiety I'd get from like, you know, I have to make sure I wake up. If I don't wake up, then I'm not
Yep.
at class.
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
all
yep,
those
yep.
little things that I was just like, okay, that's all on me now. But once I got here and I got adjusted, I realized I'm going to be okay. Like
Yeah.
it still is such
Go,
a big
Kiana.
thing.
Yep.
Thank you. It's still such a huge thing, but you're going to adjust and you're going to get used to it. And like I said earlier, everybody's going through it too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And one thing I found is relating to your friend. You can talk to your friends about these issues because they're going through it too, which helps
Love
so
it.
much.
Good
It's
point.
not
Yep,
as
yep,
big
yep.
and scary. It's really not.
Yes, yes.
Just talk to people, you know,
Yeah.
and
Good.
I found like don't be as scared. You
Yep.
know, like take a breath. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Sydney?
I think for me, the biggest thing I was afraid of was probably finding my classroom. Like I am a hot mess with maps.
No.
I feel you.
Finding my classroom. Fun fact, if you don't know, I just learned that if it has a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, like the first number, that's what floor it is.
Exactly.
How
Yep,
did you
yep,
get through
yep,
first
yep.
year with not? That's crazy.
Because I made friends and I was like, hey girlies, like
Show me
let's
where to
walk to
go."
class together.
Love it.
But this year, my boyfriend was like, you know that's what that means. And I was like, no, thank you.
And Sydney just gave us a survival tip there.
There we
Survival
go.
Don't know
tip.
your room. Find people who know.
Yeah. And then another big thing was my grades. I was like, I need to
Yeah.
be a 90 student. Everything needs to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist. And then I realized, okay, you're fine. You're not going to get a good grade on every assignment. And every prof marks different. And you just need to accept that.
Yep.
And it's not the end of the world if you get a 75, a 65. You will survive. And you just have to accept that. And at the end of the day, we're still learning how to accept that, I will say. But that was probably the biggest thing for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sean?
For me, so different in terms of lifestyle, academics, also as a professional, past professional, an international student, if you want to put me into that. I would say, like, you know, I was coming here, like, you know, I watch a lot of Hollywood movies about college life.
Yes. Oh
And
yeah.
So, like, you kind of have this picture, or like that stereotype.
Yeah. An expectation.
And then you're like, oh no, as soon as you realize, like, wow, that's how much it costs to live as me at the end of a month.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, I need to make some sensible decisions. Like sometimes when I see a big line partying at the stages or like clubs, I'm like, well, this time is past me, I think now. So I need to really actually work to cover my costs to live there every day. So you need to be responsible, I think, like I was, but to that extent, going back as to college after 2 to 3 years, I was like, okay, so really life as a student is not easy when your parents don't fund you at 100% or even 20%. So I needed to I need to sacrifice that. So that was taken very quickly and I accepted that fact.
Yeah.
Second was Sydney just said you're not going to get 90 and I'm hugely competitive. So I love
Okay,
the best in the world, best in the class, but also coming from an underdog point of view, because I don't like to be the smartest person in the room. I like that I have Dan with me.
You can always learn.
Dan is going to be my mentor.
All the pressure's on Dan.
Yeah, there we go, Dan.
See, for me, this is what was lacking as a podcast host. I wanted to be surrounded. Even Kiana is very talented at social media, much more better than me.
Thanks, Sean.
And that's why I take people who are better than me as someone who wants to move things forward. I want to be surrounded by the best. And we got a surprise package today with Sydney. And what can I say?
Love it.
Vibe with her. Vibe with her, totally. So, and that's it, make those bonds, create those friendship that challenges you and move forward. And because for me, I was focusing too much on the academic the first semester, because I was working on an assignment for 6 hours. Let's make it perfect, because I want to show that even if I'm not from that field, I'm better than you.
Right.
So I get like that.
Yep.
Being into soccer early, I always want to win. So
Competitiveness.
That is fair, though.
sometimes, but you need to manage it. Those are things you manage.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
That's great advice, honestly.
And Dan.
Oh, yeah. 3 things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all boils down to mindset.
Yeah.
100%.
Me, right, when thinking about this, going through this this whole new journey and experience, I just tell myself it's a journey. It's a process, And number 2, it's all about setting expectations. And then what I do is I condition myself, right? Instead of being fearful of something, I switch it to I'm more excited. I'm excited. What if I fail? What if I make fun of myself? What if I look stupid? What if I do some dumb stuff? But it's something new. I don't usually do that. I'm not like that. So it's a new thing for me. It's an experience.
Yeah.
Third thing is I always tell myself, you're gonna be fine.
There you go, yeah.
At the end of the day, it's my story. I don't care what other people think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in their shoes. I'm not reliving or living their story. This is my story. Whatever happens to me, if I fuck up, it's gonna be my story.
That's life.
I
You
love
live and you
that.
learn.
Honestly, I feel like everybody should live by that,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
I think that's the biggest, essential is
Really?
be your own person,
I think it comes with age.
Yeah. No, totally.
Holler. Shout out to all the oldies out there. Yep.
Oh, you guys aren't that old.
One more
We
thing
have
from
an
Sean.
event
Yes.
coming up, so I touched it at the beginning of the episode, Velocity, where art meets technology, organized by the Innovation Hub and also the Student Association. So we have a poster again. I went to get it October 12th, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Innovation Hub. And also a huge shout out to our number one fan, which I met actually during the fire alarm test.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Sierra. She came, hey, I listen to the podcast every episode since the dating episode. She went back to the first
Love
episode
that.
and listened to every of them. So big shout out to her and her dog Augie.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Shout out to you.
And on that note, I guess, Dan, you go.
Take it away.
Take it away, Dan.
Oh yeah, that's it. So thanks everyone. If you're out there, thank you for listening, for paying attention, and for spending some time with us. And hopefully we see you next time. We are cooking up some wonderful, interesting stuff for you, because this is for you. See you next time, and take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Self-care.
Yay.